Money in the Bank was the first pay-per-view in London for 20 years. It had returns, title changes, and overall a great pay-per-view. It started off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was a decent Money in the Bank ladder match, and I'm glad they actually had a bad guy win it for once. Like, what's the last time a bad guy has won Money in the Bank? And I think they're going to change up the Judgment Day. And I think it's going to end up really good, except they totally should have had Damian, cash in on one of the other Judgment Day members. Also, those ladders were, unbreakable. They tried to go through them twice, and it just didn't work. That was really sad. Next up was the Tag Team Championship match. It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the best tag team match I've ever seen, but it was basically a normal championship match, and I still have no idea why Shayna turned on Rousey, but I think it's going to end up being a good storyline. I think they're going to have a match at SummerSlam. If they don't, then there was no point of the betrayal. And I'm glad that Raquel and Liv are back as champions, because they didn't really lose it in the first place. And I hope they actually have some good matches, because to be fair, the Women's Tag Team Championship division isn't even doing that good. It's basically just championship matches, and it's just changing all around. Next up is the Intercontinental Championship match. Now, it was basically a normal Gunther match. We all knew Riddle wasn't going to win, and to be fair, Gunther's probably actually going to retain at WrestleMania 40, because I mean, it's literally Gunther, and Triple H just loves him. Who can beat him? I mean, they don't even have anyone here who can win the Intercontinental Championship. Riddle's not going to win it. Nope, Mustafa Ali wasn't going to win it. Nobody's in line to actually win it, so I'm interested what they do with the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe they'll have someone signing, next year beat him, but I don't even know. Next up was Cody versus Dominic. Now, before the match, I was actually pretty stumped on who was going to win, but as the match progressed, I knew Cody was going to win. The only reason I thought Dom was going to win for a little is because Rhea was going to help him and he was going to get a cheap win, but no, that didn't happen. Cody just dominated, and I hope that Brock and Cody are actually going to have a match at SummerSlam to finally end this, because we still don't even know why Brock attacked him on the Raw after WrestleMania. It's so weird. It still doesn't make sense why he attacked him. And I just hope that, something can happen here, because Cody needs to have another good rivalry before WrestleMania 40. And at one point, I was hoping that he would go backstage with Dominic because they were heading there, and then no, it just didn't happen. Then we have the surprise of the night. John Cena came out, which nobody was expecting. To be fair, the only reason they had him do this was because it was the first time a pay-per-view has been in London in 20 years. And John wants it in London, but I feel like some WWE storylines never actually lead up. Who even knows if we're going to have, WrestleMania actually in Australia or London? They're probably going to happen, but not because of... They're probably going to happen WrestleMania 50 or 60. They haven't... most WWE storylines that happen for a while don't even lead up. And also, I feel so bad for the people in Australia. Next up is the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, it was pretty bad at the start, but as the match progressed, it got a little better. And the ending was pretty good, except I really hope Bayley and Io actually break up, because the Damage Control isn't even doing anything at this point with Dakota injured. And I'm glad Io actually won, and that was an 1,000 IQ play from Io at the end. And thank God Becky Lynch didn't win. Nobody wanted her to win. Nobody cares if she's a good guy. And it was a pretty good match at the ending. I just wish it was a little better at the start. Next up was the World Heavyweight Championship match. Now, I expected a lot from this match. I think I expected too much, because it wasn't even that good of a match. It was okay. It was just like any other match that Seth Rollins has had at this point. And Finn felt like Finn was the good guy because if you look back, Seth is the whole reason that he lost his Universal Championship. And I was kind of rooting for Finn, but we all knew he wasn't going to win. The only way he could win is if Damien cashed in on him, which I was really hoping, but of course, I felt like a Vince McMahon match. Honestly, it wasn't even that good, and I just wish Damien had actually cashed in. Last but definitely not least was Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. Now, I feel like we all knew the Usos were going to win here, but nobody was expecting Roman Reigns to be the one who gets pinned. And we all know that eventually Solo Sikoa is going to betray Roman before SummerSlam. Because, honestly, we just have to have Solo betray Roman. It would be great to see all the Samoan brothers against Roman Reigns. And it was a pretty good match after all. It was better than most matches on the pay-per-view. And I think the crowd went insane, and I'm really glad they did, because this was a match that definitely could be remembered, and I really hope Jey Uso is facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. And yeah, that's my review.